नमस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरुपदम् मंत्रमूलं गुरो कृपा गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरो कृपा। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, कृष्ण भगवान की जय, गीता माता की जय। We are discussing fifth chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, and in that yesterday we were discussing on the 18th sloka, विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गवी हस्तिनी सुनी चैव सुपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः। How a realized soul obtains an equal vision. Sages look with an equal eye on a Brahmana endowed with learning and humility. These two are the special quality of a Brahman, which is considered as the higher caste. It is not so high to hate the low one. It is not so. It is misunderstood. These castes and creeds are created only for the easy day-to-day life in the society, in the day-to-day life, so that the works are divided into different groups. The groups which are entitled to do something according to the karma and guna, according to the nature of their actions and the qualities. Considering these two factors, the classification of all the society, all the citizens of the society are classified into four groups. One group who is given the duty of 6 actions and with qualities of sattva, means steadiness, understanding and stability, proper decision, all these are the qualities, and special qualities are 6. They are they are given the responsibility of learning whatever up to the last limit, learning and teaching both. Two, and then doing yajna for purification of his own self and doing yajna on others' behalf to purify the other people of the society. Sometimes we do many unwanted actions, knowingly or unknowingly also we do. We are forced to do something, and whatever we do, of course, nothing can be 100% correct because it is a relative world. So naturally we occur some sins, some demerits. So to neutralize it, we have to perform yajna, sacrifice. That is the purificatory action. Everybody should do. So the Brahmins which are given the learning department, education department, they will learn first and they will teach the others. And the other two works, they have to perform sacrifices for their own purification, and they should also, they have got the right, they are given the right to perform such sacrificial actions for purification of other people on their behalf. So what do? We invite them on our behalf and we burning karna. We give the authority from our side to do something for ourselves, not for them. So they conduct sacrifices for others, and after that they should be paid. That is called dakshina. When the Lord, the Creator, created the yajna first, sahajajna praja srištva purovacha prajapati anena prasavisadva es vastu ishtakamadhuk. As soon as he created the creatures in the creation, he created the yajna also. There are different kinds of creatures. Some are subtler ones. They abide in subtler realms. Some are mediocres and some are inferior beings. In this way, the karmas are also divided into this sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. So when nature forces you to do some actions, whatever it is, with dualistic mode, so naturally you will occur sins. However, you try to make it 100% perfect, it is impossible. So in order to neutralize that, yajna is there. By that you can purify your forbidden actions, whatever you have done. And when the Creator created the yajna, it is in the form of fire. He created 5 elements, you know. So first is sky, subtlemost layer which holds all other elements, and then comes the wind. Wind is little grosser than the sky. It can be perceived by touch. And then comes fire, and then water and earth. Earth is gross most. And water is little subtler than the gross most earth. And fire is this side and that side, in between. So it has that power to make the gross into subtle and subtle into gross. See the rain, the ice, so solid, it melts and it becomes water, evaporates, and it becomes clouds, and again it becomes water, and by temperature only. So that is heat, that is fire, nature of the fire. Its duty is to do this, make the gross into subtle, subtle into gross. So fire is considered to be the mouth of the yajna and mouth of the gods. They eat through the fire only, through the yajna, sacrificial fire. So the gods, the subtler beings of different kinds, they cannot accept and enjoy the gross things. So they want subtler objects. So fire is capable of doing it. And the subtler things, whatever they give it back to the conductor of the sacrifice, the fire makes it gross and presents it. Fire works as the bridge, the connecting rod, or the postman. This way, the fire is taken as the sacrificial fire. And when the sacrifice is done, beside the yajna, just as you have how many children? 2. How are they? One is male and other is female child, isn't it? So in that way, when Creator created yajna, we can say it is his son and the daughter was Dakshina. They cannot be separated. So when the yajna is finished, you have to add Dakshina to it. Then only it will be considered to be completed. So this way you should give the Dakshina. And in this way the Brahmins are supposed to do sacrifice for themselves and for others. So 4, and Dhanam, when they are performing some actions in this way, they cannot earn their livelihood. So who will support them? By alms they are supposed to have their livelihood. So they have the right to take the gifts or charity, whatever. They have right to beg. It is not a cause for the society. It is what a support for the society, because they are doing something for you. So your duty is to support them by dakshina, by other kinds of charities. When you feed them or whatever you do, you should invite Brahmins and look after them. In this way, the Brahmins are supported by the society. So they are entitled to receive the dhanam, gifts, and they also have to give dhanam. They have to give also and take. Both. Unless you give, if you get more and try to keep it, collect it, it is called sangraha, then you will be busy in protecting it, taking care of it. It is not expected from you. Whatever extra you have to give it away. So, your responsibility to take care of it is gone now. So, you can devote your time for the society. In this way, 6 karmas. And the Kshatriyas, they have got 4 karmas. The second type of group. They have the responsibility and right also to protect the society from the attack of enemies. Everywhere there are antibodies. So one has to protect the property. Body is the most valuable property, and your belongings. That's how the society can grow well. So, who is there to protect your society from the antibodies? Kshatriyas are responsible for it. To protect the society from the enemies, antibodies, any kind of enemies, calamities also. The military is supposed to help the people. Their duty is to help the citizens in every way. Protection. They will protect the society and they can do yajna for themselves, not for others. They have not so much time. So, their time is spent for the protection of the society. And they can give charity, but they cannot take. So in this way, 3. Yajna they can do for themselves, and charity they can give, they cannot take, and the protection they have to do. 3 types of actions they have to do. Then come Vaishya also. Vaishya who will take care of the
Trade.
Kya?
Trading.
Trade, of course. But that is called economy section of the society. So, they have to earn by business, trade, by gopalan, and many other methods are there, krishi, by farming. All these works are done by the Vaishyas, 3rd class of people. And they can do yajna for themselves, and they have to do charity. 3 kinds. And learning they can have, but they cannot teach. That obligation is not given to them. It is duty of the Brahmins. They have to teach. Vedas, Shastras, and all other whatever knowledge is required for the citizens of the society And the Sudras, they have got only one work: serve the society, any group, as you can, by all means, you have to serve. Other works are done by other castes for them. They have to protect them and give their livelihood. They have nothing to do, only to serve. So in this way, all kinds of actions, what is needed for a common man, is divided into four castes. And this way, Brahman is supposed to have the better class because he is concerned with the mind and intellect, knowledge. And Yajna also protection and purification the process. So naturally we can say it is higher class. That does not mean others are not so important. Every caste is as important as the other, and they are needed for the society as the other groups are needed. Hating the lower caste people is a sin. They are not doing anything wrong, and without them society cannot survive. So they are doing the higher class work. Why? Because service is not taken voluntarily by others. Nobody likes to clean the road or other outer section or inner section. Of course, inside the housewives, they take care. But outside, it becomes dirty, and your clothes, and your hair cutting, barbers, and other type of people, they belong to the service class. In this way, Brahmins are called, taken for granted, they are higher class people. Generally. At the same time, they are not entitled to hate others. So in this way, they should have some other qualities also. They should be contented always with little, or else they will adopt other methods. There will not be time for doing more job in the society. They do 6 types of actions. So they must have so much time. So they don't have time for protection of their belongings and earning their livelihood. That's why others are responsible for this part of the life of the Brahmins. So the Brahmins should have the satisfaction with little things, or else they will spend time on their belongings. It is not support for them. They should have to give as much time as possible for the society. They are, of course, capable. So their capability is dependent on learning and humility. These are the highest qualities, and also satisfaction, contentment with little things, not accumulating things. परिग्रह नहीं चाहिए. So in this way, Brahmins' qualities are defined. So now, sages look with an equal eye on a Brahmana endowed with learning and humility. The higher class people, on a cow, the middle class beings, on an elephant, and even on a dog and an outcast. Outcast means lower class people, they are always engaged in servicing the society. So they are taken as outcast or low caste. In this way, the sage has got a equal vision to see everybody equally. What is equal vision? You must understand what is equanimity. Your vision must be equal. How do you look at your body? How do you how do you feel about your hands and legs and ears and nose and your mouth and back and front and belly and head, everything? Do you protect it equally, or you have some partiality for the head and for the leg? No. This is called equal vision, equanimity. As the inhabitant in this city of the body, you see everything equally, isn't it? But when you start using all these, there is difference, isn't it? You don't eat with ear or eyes because you see equally everything. Do you do so? Vision is inward and actions are outward only. So that is called relativity, relative world. Inward world is something else. It may be concerned with the outer world. It may not also be concerned with the outer world. It is both way, inner and outer. So the mind is out also and in also. So mental understanding means thinking and perceiving things equally. That is called equal vision or equanimity. But when you come to the action state, you have to act properly with difference. Because in dualistic world, everything is different from each other. When you act, you are in the relative world. Inwardly, you may think of the absolute one all the time. That is what is declared in the end of all the scriptures. Bhavadvetam sada kuryat, kriyadvetam na karichit. Inwardly, with the feelings, mentally, intellectually, you should have equanimity at all time, inwardly. But when you come to the relative world, when you start acting, that is kriya, acting section. Never you should use equanimity. You should have the difference. Because the nature or the relative world is constituted by two things at a time, pairs of opposites. One is just opposite of the other. Where there is light, there is darkness, good, bad, up, then down. They go together, head and tail. So, without the opposite, one cannot remain in dualistic world. So, you should not have equal vision, means equal behavior when you start behaving. When you start acting, don't eat by the eyes, don't do something, eating or digging some garden or doing some other writing, etc. by the leg. What for the hands are there? Hands, they have to do their respective work. Legs have different work. Hands cannot walk and legs cannot eat, isn't it? So there is difference. You have to accept that difference. Don't bring indifference while doing some actions. Then you will be cheated, you will not be satisfied, you will be always in danger. Bhavadvaitam sada kuryat, kriyadvaitam na karichit. Never you should adopt equanimity while acting, but inwardly you ought to practice equanimity all the time. And Advaitam Trishu Kalesu, in 3 periods of time, you ought to adopt that equanimity all the time, continuously, inwardly. Nadvaitam Guruna Saha. Don't bring your Advaita Vedanta when you are sitting before your Guru. Never so. Sitting before your Guru.
Or before your Guru.
No, Advaitavad with Guru. Guru should be treated as something different from you. Then only you can serve the Guru. You can obey the Guru's words and you can serve him. You can question him. You can get the answers. You will be happy. You will be guided. Guidance is possible in two, because you are a full of first class. You have to admit it. You know nothing. Without Guru, nobody can walk a step ahead in its life. Since you are born, you are being taught by somebody or other. You know nothing. Mother is the first Guru, father the second, and elders are there in your family. Everybody teach you, so you have to always respect them. That is the duty of everyone. In this way, the practice of equanimity is done. Don't do mistake. Equanimity means, yes, everything is same. So start eating by your head, let me see. Walk by the head and let the legs think. Impossible. Don't do such foolishness. He says, liberated sage or Jivan Muktas. A Brahmana has equal vision as he beholds the self only everywhere, inwardly. This self is all pervading. He abides only in all beings. So in that sense, everybody is equal. That means you have to respect everyone as your own self or as God. That is called equal vision. But when you behave with them, you have to give food to the hungry man. You have to give some clothes to the nude. You have to fulfill the need of the hour, the situation. That is called equanimity. Don't give some clothes to a hungry man because you are having equal vision. Don't act like that. You will be considered to be a greatest fool. Have common sense. This magnificent vision of a jnani is beyond description. Atman or Brahman is not at all affected by the upadhis. Upadhis means which is forced upon you. Which is forced upon you. What are you? Upadhis are limiting adjuncts, as he is extremely subtle, pure, formless, and attributeless. These attributes, the forms, or the names, or all other gross, overpowering or enveloping the subtlemost is known as attributes. Titles. What are you? You have to give your introduction by your titles, your qualities. I am a human being. That is your supposition. You are not a human being. Outwardly you are a human being. Inwardly you are the self, the subtlemost, which is covered up by all these grosser, enveloping, hiding and protecting layers. That is body. Body is called human being. No doubt in it. But inwardly you are not a human being. You are a being. And then you are the innermost self, the subtlemost entity. This is how whatever is outward enveloping agents, they are called the upadhis. Are you an engineer? No. Yes or no, they are upadhis.
Your body also body?
Yes. You are Amarnath. Have you seen Amarnath? Had you been to Amarnath? Yes. Do you know the reality of Amarnath? There is a small conical stone there within. And that cave, it is covered up with snow all the time almost, because it is in the line of ever snow line. So always there will be snow. And somewhere in the caves, the upper side, upper part of the cave, it is stone only. So somewhere some small holes are there. And when plenty snow is accumulated, the lower snow has got more pressure. Because of pressure there is heat. Pressure creates the heat. So the lower snow melts slowly, gradually. And that water, water has to flow down. It searches for some leakage, some way to pass out. So somewhere it gets that hole or holes just on the top of that small ling-like small stone. All the time the water falls down, and it is because of it is snow line. So the moment it falls down, it again freezes, and it becomes cold again, snow again. The moment it accumulates over that stone, it freezes. So slowly the snow is covered up, and a big size of linga is made by nature. Always you can see it. Sometimes it is higher, sometimes little smaller, but always that linga is there. That is called Amarnath, natural Lord Shiva. Yes. So you are Amarnath, all these coverings which are solidified above you. Your identity is Amarnath. Amarnath means you are the eternal being, immortal being. That stone is ever present there, which accumulates all these. Sometimes it disappears, overpowering that enveloping seeds, and sometimes it gathers and becomes very visible and very big. That's all what is happening, dying and again creating the body. But that inner paving stone is there always. That is called your subtle Atma, subtle body. It is eternally there present. This is how these upadhis, they accumulate and they part from you. Yes. In the course of time, that is called birth and death. Accumulation is birth and growth, and slowly it disappears. That is called death, decomposition, melting away. So now you are Amarnath. एक किताब दे दी मई मेरे में सप्तमी विभक्ति एक वचन, मई स्थानाधिकरण, जीवत्वम ईशत्वम, either I am a jiva or I am Ishwar. People say, Aham Brahmasmi. This is what is to be practiced. I am that absolute eternal being. That is Ishatvam, Ishwarhood, Godhood. And Jivatvam means individuality, individualhood. All these two hoods, Jivatvam, Ishatvam, Kalpitam, Vastuto Nahi. I am the eternal being. All these two, either beinghood or the universal hood, Ishatvam and Jivatvam, these are really not there. Kalpitam, only imagined. These both the highest assumptions, either I am the jiva, subtle being, and or I am the universal being, Ishwar, these two can be assumed and accepted this side or that side. In between we accept so many tvam. Tvam means hoods, manhood and teacherhood or family headhood. All these hoods, brotherhood, enmityhood, all these are there in between. The lowest can be jivatvam, the beinghood, individual beinghood. Either you are a spark of the fire or a fire, both are imagination only. All these are only thought over. In reality, they are not to be found. Mai jivatam isatam kalpitam vastuto nahi. In reality, they are not there. I am neither the individual being nor the Brahman, the absolute. Nothing I am. This is the final. Get the cup and go home. Final. The league match is over. Iti jastu vijanati. One who knows it perfectly, thoroughly well. Sammukto natra sansaya. He is liberated. There is no doubt in it. This is the final end of all the knowledge. Essence of, the aim of, and the end of all the knowledge. So this is what we are discussing here. A Brahmin should have equal vision in this way. The Brahman is not at all affected by the upadhis. There is neither jivahood or godhood. Nothing is there. It is beyond all the upadhis, means qualities, names and forms, or limiting adjuncts. These limit you. You are not limited. Unlimited means you have no name, no form. The moment you accept your name, you are limited in the form. Form is the body. So you are limited by all means, from all sides. There is no limitation for you, for the reality. These are all called upadhis or limiting adjuncts which are called upadhis. As he is extremely subtle, Anuranyan, Mahato Mahan, bigger than the biggest. How can you say he is biggest? No, bigger than your biggest is he, which is beyond all these measures. He is extremely subtle, pure, formless, and attributeless. The sun's reflection falls on the river Ganga, the purest water, on the ocean also, the salty water, or on a dirty stream also, carrying all sorts of garbage, that is sewerage. The sun is not at all affected by any way. Sun casts its rays over everything with equal vision. This is called equal vision. But it knows one is dirty, other is pure. There is no difference when it distributes its rays. So in a similar way, when you behave with different kinds of beings, you have to behave properly with kindness, with oneness, your oneness, feeling one with their pleasure and pain or happiness and problems. You have to share with everyone because your own self is abiding everywhere. In that way you should have the equal vision, just as the sun. The sun is not at all affected in any way. This makes no difference to the sun. So is the case with the Supreme Self, the self-effulgence, which distributes its knowledge, that is the light, or the rays of its effulgence to everyone equally. This makes no difference. The upadhis, limiting agents, cannot affect him. He doesn't care what name this person is and what form this person has. He behaves equally. So it is accepted for the God. God behaves equally with everyone. Samadarshi. And our
He cannot be otherwise, Swamiji, I think.
no, it cannot be otherwise. Our great saint of Gujarat, Narsi Mehta, he says, प्रभु मेरे अवगुण चित्तन धरो समदर्शी है नाम तिहारो. You always have equal vision, so don't consider my defects. I am always defective. Always I do mistakes. Don't consider my mistakes, my dear. Why? एक नदी एक नार कहावत मैलो ही नीर भरो. जब सब मिल करे एक वरण भय सुरसरी नाम परो. प्रभु मेरे अवगुण चित्तन धरो. You are just having equal vision like the Ganga, ever pure flow. These different kinds of streams or riverlets with different kinds of water, some have clear, some had muddy, some had all the garbages in it. They come to you, mix with you, you accept all and purify all. Just as Ganga, oh my dearest God, don't consider my bad qualities and accept me. This makes no difference to the sun. So, in the case with the Supreme Self, the upadhi is limiting urgence cannot affect him, just as the ether is not affected by the limiting urgence, that is a pot, the walls of the room, cloud, etc. Sky never have different visions. It is present everywhere. Is there no presence of sky, ether, in the dirty garbages? Does it get impure? When there is storm, does the sky get dirty? When there is so much black clouds covered up the whole sky means the whole 2 eyes. Does the sky get any influence by it? Does it get dirty? Becomes black? Never so. So that is the magnanimity of the Great One. So also, the self is not affected by the upadhis. So-called black clouds are upadhis for the sky. Forced, some forcibly given to it some visions or some forms. How is the sky? Please look outside. It is cloudy. Sky is cloudy. Is it right to say the outside sky, when I saw it as cloudy? So in that way, all these are forced upon the sky. It is not really there. So also the case with the self and the absolute. Both. They are not at all affected by all these assumed titles. The Brahmana is sattvic, the cow is rajasic, the elephant, the dog and the outcast are tamasic. The sage sees in all of them the one homogeneous immortal self who is not affected by the 3 gunas and their tendencies. So in this way he has got an equal vision. So we have to end here for today. Tomorrow we shall see in your absence. Yes, absence indicates your presence. Somewhere not here. The next sloka, यही तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषम ही समम ब्रह्म तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः. Even here in this world, birth, everything is overcome by those whose minds rest in equality. Brahman is spotless indeed and equal, therefore they are established in Brahman, vice versa also. When you are established in that truth, Brahman, you will have this equal vision. And when you have acquired this equal vision, so you are established in Brahman, both way. We shall see it tomorrow elaborately. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai.